Hello, everybody. We are back here with Real Talk with Paulo Schneider. And as always, thank you for listening, for following us, listening to our show, following our show. And to begin with, I wanted to make sure that to all of you out there, subscribe, check our social media out via YouTube, my website, the Instagram, all the channels that appear throughout the show. Follow us. Here's why. Every show, every week that we produce a show, we're going to produce and bring to you some real business nuggets, information that you can take everywhere, and information that you can take all out there for your life, for your business life, for personal. And we're going to also talk about motivational stuff at some point. But for the most part, it's business. My industry is real estate, as you know. Residential, commercial real estate, but the show is always produced around the whole business concept. And as the previous shows, as you have seen, if you follow us, you've seen that we had some great speakers talking about a number of different subjects that are very, very, very important for you. Whichever business you may be in, this is technology, this is innovation, this is real estate, passive income, all the things that you need to know that you can use. So watch the videos, including 1031 exchange videos and all that stuff. So if you watch the videos and follow through, you can repeatedly watch them in my YouTube channel for free. And I'm sure you can use a lot of the tools in there, a lot of information in there for you and distribute it out there. So please follow us, and I know you won't regret it. But today we have a show that I think you all going to be proud to see and hear and listen to, because we are going to talk about the business of soccer. We call it football around the world, but in the United States, we have to adapt to the name soccer. And mainly because the Messi fever is around, but we are going to talk about the entire process of business, how the MLS started, the evolution of the MLS, and what the U.S. needs to do about soccer, the business of soccer, to be able to compete worldwide with the nations, the European nations, the South American nations, and so on. And I am delighted with my guest today. My guest is Mario Alexandre Cabral. He is the executive director of the CBS School Soccer Academy of Brazil, CBF, which is the National Soccer Association of Brazil, and he is the executive director of this academy, of this school. So I can tell you one thing: if you have kids out there, if you have children and they are interested in soccer, this is the best academy to learn from, to be involved in. And obviously, if you know the history of Brazilian soccer, this is where it's at. But my guest is not only the executive director. He was a professional soccer player, too, in his time. Today's a little bit a different story, right?
Yeah.
So before we go into this, Mario, I'm going to read his biography, which is amazing. And if I can get through this in an hour, I'm not so sure. So Mario is an executive director of the Academy, graduated in business and process engineering, was a professional player for Fluminense, a big-time club in Brazil, super well-known worldwide, and an expert on the subject football, again, soccer. Served as a technical director and head coach in the U.S., Tri-States, which includes New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, an executive football manager of major clubs in Brazil, such as Vasco da Gama and Flamengo, and a professional youth level, revealing many athletes on the national and international level and scene. Brazilian national teams, of course. He has worked with important figures in Brazil football and holds pro licenses as a coach and as executives or as an executive in Brazil and CONMEBOL and in the U.S., which is very, very important. For those of you who need to know who want to work with somebody that is qualified, this is it right here. He is specialized in executive programs in sports management worldwide, such as schools in Liverpool, Real Madrid, FIFA Master. He has is a graduate FIFA Master CIES, FGV, MIT, Harvard, the Duke, New York University, and most recently was responsible for creating the social development program. And let me hold on a second. Through the United Nations football, the UN International School Football Program, jointly developed by FIFA and schools around the world. I can tell you, I could go on and on and on and on, but we want to bring this guy on here because it's that important. So please welcome Mario. Welcome to the show. Let's go right at it.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for inviting me. But come on, this is resume is when you read like that, it's crazy. It's like a what? Who is this guy? Come on, no.
I know. It's so much. Powerful guy.
No way.
Powerful guy. So, all right, welcome to the show, Mario. It really is a pleasure to have you on because the fever of the soccer in the U.S. right now is big, is huge. Everybody's got it. And people are already taking some serious medication because of this evolution that is coming around. So you are the expert in the soccer world. Tell us about a little bit about your history, where you came from, and as a professional soccer player. I'm sure a lot of people want to know what happens with a professional soccer player and how you have to prepare to become one.
Yeah, and in Brazil it's completely different. About the soccer, because every time I say it, soccer is different than football, right? It's different background when you play or born in different countries outside the U.S. for sure. And well, the path is different. Here, the model is more like a business model. You play like in academies and like schools, like
right.
Our school. Is it different? Your concern is more about just to play the game, and of course, if you have skills, if you can potentially be a good player, you have the opportunity to play in pro. In Brazil, no, it's completely different. Why? Because in some point, you know, our situation, our economic situation, and opportunities in Brazil is most like if you have a talent and you have a lot of talent spread in Brazil, and you have a shot, opportunity to do this. It's like save your life, or in different perspective. You can do something good. You can do in different areas in your life. For my luck, it's not my situation the back days, but it's more like that. Soccer is one opportunity in Brazil to have a good life. Okay, here's our concern is about you studying, you have you're professional and this stuff, and not just about the sports. Like I said, if you are a good player, you have a lot of skills to play in high level, like in major leagues, it's amazing, you receive for that. But if this doesn't work, you have a college to study, you have your professional.
You have a degree in whatever area you want to graduate in. And in Brazil, it's a little bit different because
sadly, but the most part of people don't have opportunity to do something great like that. And sports sometimes save your life and go to different ways.
If you have the skills, but not only the skills, you also have to have the discipline, the determination, the will, and the desire. We hear so many stories about some of the great players that came from Brazil. Their history is like, man, you cannot believe it. They came from backgrounds that it's almost impossible to get out.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that. Who do you know out there, if you can say names, that came from these kind of backgrounds who are superstars worldwide that people know, that our audience most likely knows?
Sometimes you heard about the people like heroes, right? Like superstars. But when you know the background, you know, you're the same time, same era, and you know
where they came from?
About, they came from, or the neighborhood, or how the tough situations they pass for be a professional player is complicated. Sometimes the people don't believe that. If I tell you, Like, for example, Ronaldo, the big Ronaldo,
yeah.
phenomenal. Flamengo, is one of the biggest team in Brazil now. He can play for Flamengo, for example, because he needs to take 3 different transports, public transport to
get to the
arrive.
stadium.
Yeah, get to the
to
stadium,
get to the training center.
The training center, yeah. And for sure, he don't have money for that. The family don't have money.
So he had to take 3, let's say, buses.
Yeah, buses, train, and another bus.
Well, that takes hours.
Yes. And can you imagine how could you study, go to the school, and spend a lot of time like this
On the road,
to
train,
yes.
then go back,
And
the
back.
same time. They take the same time, the same transportation back, and then go to school.
What time you eat, what time you study, what time you play.
That's hard work.
It's hard work.
You have to have a lot of discipline.
Yes,
You really
a lot.
want to succeed at that.
Can you imagine that you have 15 years old, for example?
Wow.
You have a parties, right?
The neighborhood parties.
Yeah,
the neighborhood parties. Everybody
And
wants to be at,
And you should stay in the club and no training, just training, no parties, no weekends.
No drinking, no nothing. You cannot do any of that
If
stuff.
you are a disciplined guy, if you have a focus to, I want to be that. My target is to be a professional, a high level player. You need to follow this. Or just talent doesn't work.
Just talent doesn't do it.
Yeah, it's impossible.
There you go. Listen to this is a business lesson, not just a soccer lesson. Just talent doesn't do it. Not talent alone. You have to have the discipline. You have to put the work in. You have to have the determination, the resiliency to overcome all these things. Because look, I always say this: good education puts you in the front door, but you still have to open it.
Yep.
You still have to open that door.
Yeah, of course.
Because the guy who does not have any education way back may have a bigger desire than you do,
Yes.
and all of a sudden, boom, he passes by you
That's
and
it.
opens that door, and he's gone. And you
perfect.
lost an opportunity because you thought you had talent, right?
It's perfect.
How many people do you see out there that lost their career because they had talent, and then they forgot about that they needed discipline, they needed to work hard? You can tell probably thousands of these stories.
Yes. I have 1,000 stories. On my neighborhood, for example, I'm very lucky because I'm from a neighborhood. You have so many talents and different age, like my generation before me, and then after a little. But in my time and the generation before me, oh my God, so many good players. Yes,
right.
But it's amazing. It's like, for one thing, I'm a professional player. This thing, I go to the club, yeah. But on the back days when I was youth, teenager, before to come to this level, I'm shy to tell everybody, no, I'm playing on the club. Why? Because the guys is 10,000 better than me, but they didn't get it. They didn't
put the
it
time, the
happen.
discipline, the determination.
Yeah, some guys,
some did,
yeah,
but
you
most
have
of them.
a lot of examples about that. I'm not, of course, a famous player like that, but I play with good players in a good level. But yeah, I know a lot of players just,
So you became a professional soccer player. At what age? You played for Fluminense, right?
Yeah.
What year was that? And what age did you become a professional player? What age was that?
20. I'm
20.
Late. Yeah, I'm late because you have between 18 and 20 years old. You call juniors.
Yeah.
But if you're a good player, you have opportunity to go professional straight from the juvenile. The name is
juvenile.
Yeah, juvenile here. There's a difference. You have a lot of good players. Each one have a different situations, because it's weird. What I say, I'm old to get this because I'm studying the military school before.
Okay.
I'm graduating military school, and the same day I'm trying to go into the club. And this is a big trick. Or like I said, in Brazil, or you study, you have a time to study in the good level, this, a good school, or you go to the club and play soccer. And this the mix. And at some point, I just give up and just go to the club and play.
Well, you have one important aspect, because soccer in Brazil, the football in Brazil is basically the only big sport that we have there.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know,
Yes.
I'm Brazilian myself. And my guest, of course, Mario, is Brazilian as well. But this is the main sport we have. basketball, American football, hockey, all these things are on a very, 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 very low level. Not even maybe third, fourth division compared to here. But everybody wants to play soccer. So you have hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, who want to play. And in order for you to get the opportunity to play with the professional team, it's just a handful out of those millions. So right there, you have to really, 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 really work out. And this is why when you come out of a academy and play on a professional level in Brazil, you really have to be good, just like you mentioned. You have to be good because the competition is so high. It's bigger than, I think, anywhere around the world. There's a number of people that want to compete in this sport.
Yeah, it's different. Because there's a big difference between Brazil and U.S. now when you're talking about the youth level.
Right.
In Brazil, if you don't have discipline, if you don't play hard, if you don't do your best, hey, you have 100.
You have 100 in line already.
Yes.
You screw up, you're gone.
Spot.
There's no second chance.
That's it. And here, you pay to play. There's a big difference.
Right there, they recruit you. If you're good, they take you in. If not, forget about it. There's no paying.
That's it. Pay is for...
Right here, you pay your way in.
Yes. That's it.
Very different. So you played professional for how many years?
Not short, like 2. I have a big injury, like my body, I don't know how you call this injury here in U.S., but I waste a time in my prime, and after this, I'm going to a small club, a little club in Rio, and try the Zico club, Rio de Janeiro, CFZ, for a short period, and then I have opportunity to go to Saudi Arabia, but because few bad terms and the contract and this stuff, I'm just stopped.
You walked away.
Yeah, just a few years.
After your soccer professional career, you became a sports director for Vasco da Gama and Flamengo. What did you see in that? You were part of the development as the executive team to develop the players and all that stuff, or was it more corporate stuff?
After the pro, my career in the game, in the field, I'm going back to the college. I'm trying to study in them. I go to different ways before I return to soccer industry. And I'm starting Vasco da Gama because in the back days you have a big world military games in Rio de Janeiro. It's like the Olympic Games for military people. And I'm starting to work in Vasco with the women's
club.
Soccer. Yeah,
women's soccer.
Part, yeah.
What year was that?
It's 2011.
2011.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm responsible for the whole department. I have a director, and me and one of my good friend working here in Orlando now, as Alex Matias in the Orlando Soccer City, Orlando City Soccer Club.
Oh wow!
And and you're in charge for this the girls, the women's side.
Right.
And you have a lot of our pro team is a Brazilian national team. It's a former Brazilian national team women, like Tânia Maranhão, Pretinha.
Yes, they're in
Michael Jackson. Pretinha, no, sorry. Michael Jackson, Dani, have a lot of them. It's amazing because you have for the girls for sure. Soccer, women's soccer in Brazil don't have this too many support.
Right,
it's
tough. It's around the world like this.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, the same situation. But it's a good thing you have a pro team in the back days. For the young girls, oh my God, you have this player here. I can be this like
you
her.
Can be a Marta, you can be a Pretinha. You have chances. You have some idols out there.
You have a good path there.
Yeah.
And Vasco in the back days is the one of. You have 2 or 3 clubs. You have this like a youth academy.
Yeah.
For the girls, this is amazing. Like a club, this is beautiful. If you have money to keep this, it'd be amazing. Brazil is not in this situation like this last World Cup. You have one girl in this roster, the Brazilian World Cup, is Angelina, is our former player.
From really?
From this
academy.
This academy in Vasco da Gama. I'm very happy for her. Yeah.
That's good.
But you have a lot of talents and didn't make it. Didn't
make it.
Yeah. And in Flamengo, it's a short period. I work in the youth level with boys until 17 years old. It's more my business is like a more coordination, more on the field and this stuff. And then I came to US.
To the U.S.
Yeah.
So in the U.S., on your resume, you went to a lot of academies here to prepare yourself, to get yourself ready,
yeah.
to understand the sport here, how it works in the U.S. compared to, say, Brazil, right?
Yeah.
So you went around the United States. You had been you basically been almost everywhere.
Yeah.
And how do you see since you started? What year was it that you started developing soccer here?
When? 2016.
2016. So you've been around for, what, 80 years now in the soccer world, little less. But the MLS started in the 90s, correct?
Yes.
The evolution of the MLS from that time to this day, what can you tell us about the MLS, how it works and structured and all that stuff, and what do you think about the future of the MLS?
Yeah, if you start to think about soccer in U.S. history, this is the third time, I guess, you have a big boom. And like now it's MLS, last year was MLS. Before it's like a NSAL, I guess.
NSAL, yeah. It's now the second, third division, right?
Yeah.
Right.
When the back days is the main league, when the Cosmos and the
Right.
stuff. But after the World Cup in '94, FIFA, like say, hey, US, you should to have your league, or you can be a home for the World Cup in '94. And MLS, they prepared a new MLS, like you know now, and they start in '96. But from then and now is it's a big difference. Because in the back days, here's a paradise for my former players. The guys stop to play 2 years and come, just enjoy life, a good country, good money, why not?
Right.
But now you have more professional staff here. There's a good players, few players like in the prime age. This is a good thing. Not the big stars in the world, of course, because here step by step, the leagues is growing. Yeah. But it's a good path. They changed the youth academies. They put a lot of money in development. This is a good thing because before the guys who want to be a pro here, they go to the college, right? And then you go to the for the draft.
You go try out for the tryout and all that stuff.
Not try out. It's go to the college.
Get drafted by
the MLS. And now, this is not necessary. Or you have a choice. Or you want to go to the college, it's okay. You go to the college, and then you come to my club. Or you have a terms for this. Or now, okay, I'm playing pro straight from the MLS next, from the high school, and go into the academy, like the second team, you have opportunity to play pro for the main team, the first team. And then if you just give up, or you have an accident or something happen.
Injuries, whatever.
Yeah, injuries. Yeah. The club needs to pay you the college.
Oh, the club pays the college. So let me understand. If I'm recruited,
okay,
and I'm in high school, okay, I'm recruited for XYZ Academy, right? I'm gonna go and play for the academy. Whatever happens, all of a sudden I have an injury that is going to disqualify me basically physically for the short term, maybe long term, for me to become a pro player. During that time.
No, this is before. I mean, if you finish your high school,
right?
Okay, you have 18 years old, 17, 18.
Okay.
You play for Inter Miami MLS Academy.
Okay.
MLS Pro Academy.
Right.
Okay, here's your contract. What do you want? Go to the college and then you go to the draft and return to us, or you have a chance to play in pro if you're a good player, of course.
Right, of
Not
course.
for everybody.
They don't offer this to most people.
No. Okay, I want to be a pro. Okay, go to the
this
roster.
direction.
Yeah.
Go this line.
Go this. You start to play with the second team.
Right.
Yeah, and you have a chance to play in the first team. If in this moment, after this, you sign a pro contract.
Right.
And something happens, and then
At
the
that
club.
point,
Yes,
at that point,
not
after
before.
you, not before. But what about if you after playing you're playing already in the pro? In the pro, you would now a pro, and you are still 19 or 20, and something happens.
And yeah, in this
You
point,
still-
yes, you have
You still have the chance to do it. That's very
opportunity to go,
interesting.
yeah.
That's good because
you think as a professional player, for sure they have a scholarship in a good college.
of course,
That's
of course,
it. And
of
this
course, of
age
course.
between
they're going to look for them.
2024, yeah,
Right. They're
it's
going to look for
good.
them. Well, that's really interesting because that does not. It's not the same case in Brazil or anywhere.
No.
Do you know any
Just
place
here.
around the world that it is like that, or just in the U.S.?
Just in U.S.
Well, look, if you want to become a professional player, so you have the opportunity. You see that? So there is a chance that if you should take the risk, because without risk there is no reward. If you're a young dude out there and want to play soccer, boys and girls, right? So those are one of the rights you have. That's cool stuff. So you get into the academy, you become a pro player and all these things, and now we have the MLS kind of like on a, as you said earlier, a third boom. First was, I guess
And
it's
Pelé.
safe to say, with Pelé.
Yeah.
And then the second was maybe with Beckham. right?
96
When they created the MLS.
and now
and now with Messi. But when Beckham came to the United States that was in 2007. Okay, that was also a big deal, right?
I think it's bigger than Messi if you compare.
Really?
Yes. For the game, for the structure, yes.
It was bigger when
Bigger.
Beckham came. You think it was really bigger than what it is for Messi now?
The difference is Beckham and that time, he still have a chance to play in Europe for the good teams. And I'm going to the U.S. to play and trying to do something good for
nobody talked about professional player talked about coming to the U.S. at the
That's
time,
it.
right?
This opened the doors
For
for this generation.
For
sure.
this generation. So he opened the doors. Then we had some other players coming. We had Henry coming. We had Vlad. This guy I love him. I remember a joke he said once that he was interviewed and was shown a house in L.A. And then the guy said, I need to get he wanted a fully furnished home. And this house, they loved it, the wife loved it, had no furniture. And he said, told his wife, go to IKEA and buy the furniture. And the agent said, no. Rich people don't buy furniture in IKEA. And his answer was, smart people do. Yeah. So that was really funny.
It. Yeah, why not?
And then I loved the thing about he put a paper, the LA Times, whatever it was. He had a whole blank page. Said, now LA has a king and a god. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's it.
Just fully blank.
Yeah, I know.
This guy is unbelievable. But he also had a little bit of a push. And now we have Messi.
Yeah.
With Messi coming in here, and I don't want to make this as a Messi show, but the point is that
No, but this is
where
good. It's a good point.
is it? How much bigger can it get for now? Messi's here now, and obviously has had a major effect as we see it. Okay, every day we hear about it. I mean, I saw a video running around the people looking for places in Miami. All they saw was Messi signs, and they were like, "Wow!" Yeah, and it's a big deal. How big does the U.S. need to grow in soccer in order to compete with the European teams and South American teams? What is your opinion?
Yeah, you have three different situations to build this, to put the U.S. soccer in the first level in the soccer in the world. The beginning is about the academies and the whole process when you develop the players. Because the point is not just have money or good things or good big clubs, but you need to, put few kids or create good players to put in the good teams. United States is so unique formula to do soccer, because this is called soccer in our football, and it's completely different in the world. And for you compete for this, that outside overseas is tough. How the soccer works here? When do you use young? You go to the schools, like schools or them academies, and you go to the pro clubs now. You have opportunity to play in pro clubs. But it's just about business. The main concern is about business. You know, you put your kid, your son, your daughter to play soccer here. You pay for that. You just pay. Why you pay? Pay for the time to play, to be on the field. You have the good turf. You have lights. You have a good structure there. But what's about the development, about the skills, the curriculum about this? And this here, this is a big mistake, I think, about soccer here. The point is not how good you can training the kids or the player develop.
The training camp, the structure of the training camp to develop a player is not really there, in your opinion.
Yes, no.
It's just money.
No, just money.
They charge everybody whatever, $2,000-$3,000.
Yeah, for the level, the youth level is completely wrong. It's just business. You can measure the success about how rich is my academy or how good or big is my facility. That's it. And few parents, because as American culture, they just, oh, no, okay, I'll put my son here.
I pay for it.
Yeah, I pay for that. It's better to play in that thing.
But in this case, okay, finish.
Because this, we, like a CBF, the Brazilian ways, you're trying to do a different path. You're trying to do what you learned before in the back days.
Right.
You're trying to play the real game. My concerns about the
develop
kids.
The player.
Develop the players, not about the money.
Tactical parts of the game into the player.
Yeah. You play in the grass. You play in the like a mud or different thing.
The mud, right?
Yeah, the mud. Because I don't want to play there. I don't like. Hey, you need to learn for this way. You need to be a good player.
That's where the skills come from, where the ball, how you learn how to control the ball.
The good thing you play on the streets, but here is different.
Right,
Nobody
right,
play in the streets. Yeah. And around the world, of course.
Yeah.
Different times. But now you have a new program like indoor soccer. Okay, for me, is the first thing the kids need to play or learn is from
learning how to control the game,
and
the
then
ball,
you go
make
to
the
field.
moves.
Yes. And now for Lucky, you have this opportunity to do that. And we try to do this way because we're trying to do something different, you know. And you see, like U.S. is the land of opportunity. Yes, of course it is, because if you do a good job, you have your chances.
Sure,
to be.
No question about it.
But now soccer, everybody thinks they know about the game or about the thing. Why? Because it's a business. it's just business. Yeah, it's business. You can open one soccer school here. If you have money, you can build academy.
An academy.
And then, hey, it's my academy.
Yeah, and just hire, have them come in and they play whatever. The coaching is mediocre.
That's it. It doesn't matter. This guy's from wherever. It's not America. Or just, the guy's American, but this is from wherever. Europe. No,
they don't have the skills. The coaches are not prepared. So the academy doesn't have the structure to develop the play. Only the basic training. For you to understand that the ball is round.
the low level, okay, not in the high level, because of course they change in the academies, like a pro academies. They have they start to do a good job, good work, but the path between you start to play and go to the pro club here is
so far.
Yeah,
so far
it's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's so I can see now that if the essential part, if the right ingredient is not in there, then you're not going to cook a good meal.
That's it.
And the end result is the finished product. Yeah. How well polished do you want to have your finished product, right? So the production line has to be right. All the ingredients to produce a quality product have to be there. And in your opinion, that's not there today.
Yeah, that's it. Like I said, if you have money, PSG, for example, now. Yeah. PSG, come on, a lot of money. They trying to create a tradition.
Great point.
Or a big team. Why? Because I have money. I'm trying to buy these players. Players.
Yeah.
Hey.
And it's all falling apart. It's falling apart in front of our eyes.
Yes, that's it.
Everybody left.
Yeah, everybody left. And so now, who you play there? Which league you want?
And you brought a critical point up right there. Now the word is out there that the star players are all leaving. Messi left.
Yeah.
Neymar is on his way out.
almost.
Mbappe have refused every single contract thus far with Paris Saint-Germain, right? And so if these three key players are out, there's not much left there.
No.
And I read an article that they might have to sell other players and lay off staff in order to pay the bill. Now, where is that? Why is if the guy's a trillionaire, whatever? Why? What? So yeah, it brings a point. Do I want to play there? Because now the team doesn't have the level to compete in probably not even in the country against the other teams inside their own national tournaments. So that's a problem. Because if I want to be a star worldwide, I'm not going to go to PSG. I want to go to Barcelona, Real Madrid, or any British league in there, because all these teams in England are in Italy are really good. In my opinion, you know,
it's right. It's money.
You're the man there. But so if we don't do the right job here in the U.S., we could end up in that direction.
And then so different point now about Messi and this stuff. I love this idea that Messi is here because it's trying. This is one good thing to change your perspective about soccer. There's more like football. Why? Because Messi is here, and everything's changed, right? They have a good model. The kids start to watching the games,
right?
Because
True.
here, you know,
the Messi fever is here.
Messi
that's
fever,
for sure.
That's it. It's a good thing, and you create new things. You play the video games for the kids. You're watching the game. You have a good program to go to the stadium, watch the game, and do you have more inspiration about the game? If you see one guy in this level play here, you need to play better. You need to more dedication. You're more hard, and it's good for everybody.
Everybody knows Messi from around the world. They know his dedication to the game. They know his discipline to the game. They know his behavior outside of the game. Because you cannot just want to be a player and then party all night long and all those things. There's nothing out there about Messi that he's a party guy. He's a very much a good family man, and he proves the point that if you want to be successful and long term, you gotta stay away from the long nights out. You gotta stay away from the parties. You have to focus on business, and for him, that's business, 100%. So for those of you out there who want to really become successful in this sport, there are some lessons you need to learn from this show and from these guys, the pros out there. You need to really look at this very, very, very seriously. If you're 10, 12, 15, 20 years old, doesn't matter. But the point is that you want to be successful in this sport or in any sport. That's what it takes. That's also a business lesson. There's no question about that. You came, you see this now. So and what is your advice in here? I think you will say that we need to change the youth coaching process, right? Is that what you see? That's what should happen. So if you can say some words about this as to what should be done here in the academies, in all academies throughout the United States, in order to just look away from the profit side, from the business side of it, but really start developing players now that Messi's here, and so many players will come because of Messi, because now they see the business opportunity. I think Messi literally blew the cover off this thing lately, and they now see it. They have to see it in a different way. They have to, because Messi came here a formed player, a professional. A professional. So he doesn't need any discipline anymore, training anymore.
Need to prove anything.
He doesn't need to prove anything. He won everything. So you're not going to become a Messi overnight, right? He learned this process in Barcelona, right? In the academy, they produced a player. And they produced there many players, with Xavi and Iniesta and all these great players that came from their academies, right?
Busquets here, Jordi Alba is here,
Jordi Alba, all from their academy.
The same,
So that's the discipline we have to implement here in the U.S. Forget about the money. Forget about making this academies a money machine rather than if we want to succeed in soccer long term, we have to develop the skills of the players.
Yes.
Really push for a tactical program here for the youth academies. Is that somewhat right?
Yeah, it's perfect. Because the big difference is, think in Brazil, we don't have a structure. You don't have money to do what you have here.
Right. Right.
In the whole country. Okay, of course, few clubs, for sure. But here is opposite. You have the whole structure. You have money. You have
everything.
Everything. But you don't have the
strategy.
No. It's about the what I mean. Natural players.
Oh,
natural
yeah,
skills.
yeah. They'll come.
This is the point. And this, how you create this, you need to work. Every single generation is better. Why? Because they see, they learn each other, and it's growing.
More motivation. Yeah.
But it's an organic thing. It's not a magic. You can, here you American use all the sports. You use your hands. Soccer is the only one.
Football, basketball,
everything.
Hockey.
I don't know why they call football, right?
That's the big question.
I'm joking. Yeah.
5% of the time 2%, 1% of the time you kick the ball, then everything else is with the hand.
Yeah, but like that, foot for them is weird. No, I don't use my foot for anything.
Yeah.
And you change this mindset or trying to cheat this for the kids. Come on, spend a lot of time.
It's
like
a lot
I
of
said.
time. It's true.
Messi is a good example. You could, oh my God, the best player in the world is here. For the next 4 years, the soccer world, soccer industry will be here in U.S. Because you have the World Cup clubs coming, Copa America will be here.
It will be here.
World Cup and Olympic Games.
So the 4 major events of the soccer is going to be here.
Yeah, it's a good. Or you have a time and do something great to put the MLS and the U.S. and the high level, the top of the world, or
it's over.
Yeah, it's over, I think.
Wow, what an opportunity.
Yes.
So the 4 major events in the soccer world will be here the next 40 years.
Yeah, 40 years.
Yeah, I agree. If this doesn't change the game, if this doesn't change the vision behind it, then we're gonna really have a problem with that, because it can't be better than this. And you said it right. The structure is here. The money is here. The opportunities are here. We have to change on how we produce players, how we train. The tactical part of the game has to change. We have to forget about the money, but build academies. We had, and this brings me back a little bit, we had this German coach, what's his name? He was
Klinsmann?
here. Klinsmann. He was here. Was he trying to implement that philosophy at the time?
Yeah. But what happened? The Americans didn't get it.
That's what I thought. I saw that, and they didn't see it here. Let him go.
Yeah.
I think that the U.S. would be a much better team today, because all those kids that are the national team there now they were in the academies.
Yep.
With the U.S. at the time that he was here.
Yeah, it's different philosophy, different mindset. I think they need that, because if you think in the soccer in general, like you call the MLS and West soccer, the format, the formation, the format is different. It's like franchising. You don't have relegation. How you measure the success of the club in MLS?
There's no urgency there. Oh yeah, we play the game, and then if we don't make it if you don't win the championship, it's okay. We have always next year.
Yeah, no, because you have money.
Right. Exactly.
The development market is $400 million today. Okay, next year 500 million. That's okay. It's amazing.
Not a problem.
But you didn't win a cup. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The thing is, the mindset of the league is growing, organic, but doesn't matter who will win the league. This is not a problem. It's about everybody growing together.
Yeah.
This is a business mindset.
It's a totally business. I see it.
The owners, of course, the owners and the clubs, the club owners is a club, the company, the same, like the big ones.
Yeah.
It's a millionaire guys,
guys. Multi-millionaires and billionaires.
Again, when the concern is just about the money, it's really hard to put this in the field because doesn't make any sense, you know.
Yeah. So we see, many countries around the world, they develop players and then, of course, they sell it to teams worldwide. And many European teams buy the South American players and other stuff. Brazil, for example, I read an article the other day that we have over, I think, 13,000 professional soccer players around the world. I think that's around the number that I read. But, and we have 32 teams, right? Professional that play in the Brazilian national tournament, right? Yep. 32 teams. So how many players, 22, 24 players in each team that are on the roster as professionals? Yeah. That's a couple of hundred players only, right? Yes, it's not even 1,000. And we have over 13,000 around the world. Now, all professional players, they all have a salary contract. They live off those contracts, right? So by the time we have to structure, we have to build something here. And where does it begin? I know you said something about that. That we really need to start in the academy, right? Is that your opinion?
Yeah, because in the top level is a different situation. They did a good job. Major League is a success case, okay? But it's just the format is different. That's it. They produced few players, 2-3 players last year. You can play in Europe.
Yeah,
it's okay, it's fine.
Yeah,
but I mean, my concern is how you put the good players on the U.S. national team, not about the league. I mean the national league, the national team.
You have to produce them from the academy here because you have a lot of foreign players playing in the academies in the MLS.
In MLS,
and they will go back to play with their countries, right? Then who are you going to pick for your national team?
Yeah.
And if you don't start producing them from the academies, guys that were born and raised here, we're never going to be able to compete here with the United States national team around the world in World Cups. It's not going to happen. Look, CONCACAF right here, right now.
Yeah.
We lost against, I think, Trinidad, Tobago, or whatever. I mean, come on. You cannot. This is the United States, man.
Yes,
you cannot lose that.
This is the point.
You cannot lose against these kind of teams. This is, in a way, a little shameful.
Yeah, I know.
The reality is that, a little shameful. We have all the structure. We have the infrastructure. We have all the fields. We have all the money. We have all the money we need for this.
Yeah.
We got to do a better job. We got to do a better job out there. And like my guest Mario said here, the process starts from the academy. Okay, from the academy, developing players, and then we need to invest time there in order to have great players on the national team 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 years from now. The time will come, but if we do the right job, that's the difference. So the league out there, look at this. Mario, we are running to our last 2 minutes here. Your view about the future here in soccer. I know we talked about how we have to build the basis of these academies, but your view about the soccer in general. I know you mentioned the big 4 events that are coming the next 3-4 years. Give me a summary of what you think should happen here and what the potential is that can happen.
Yeah, I hope, like I said before, Messi is here. The whole soccer industry in the world will be here for the next year. Is a good opportunity to, put this the good way forever. Trying to change the mindset, trying to love more the game, and trying to create situations for the game. You'll be here for more time. And how you can do that when you do a good job with the kids, and you have a strong national team. This is the one.
Well, I remember you said something very strong national team. In 1994, the U.S. had a strong national team.
Yes, I know.
I mean, and that was literally not too long.
It's sad to play against Brazil so early, right, in the round of 16.
Yes.
But it's a nice team.
But it was a
really
great
nice
team.
Yes.
What happened since then? What happened since then? That's That's what we need to figure out. And that's where we have to start thinking about rebuilding on that philosophy that was at that time there. But we got to create a system that will develop players to make sure that we come back to that team we had here in the United States in 1994. Obviously, different players, but that's what it takes, and it's a process. Mario, I want to thank you very much for this opportunity. I think that our audience will learn a lot from this. And if you need anything about the academy that Mario is the executive director on, log in, see it here. You can follow him on the Instagram and find him out there, get in touch with him. I can tell you one thing. If your child out there wants to play the game, the beautiful game as we call it, this is the place to be. This is where you have to be. The mindset, the structure, everything that we talked about here is going to happen to your kid. And who knows, he may be your future. Thank you again for the opportunity.
Thank you for inviting me. And it's always a pleasure to talk about what you love, right?
That's your passion. That's your love. Here we go. Thank you so much. We'll see you at the next show very soon. And log in. Find us out there all over social media. Follow us and send this video out to everywhere around the world where you can. Thank you so much. See you soon. Thank you, my friend.